Hello and welcome to the edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Right off the bat on today's show, well, we haven't talked about the C8 Chevrolet Corvette for a while, and this is probably a story that General Motors really doesn't want to get around, but it's way too late. It's all over the old internets over the past several days. A pair of engineers, one electrical engineer at the age of 30, and a computer-aided engineer at the age of 28. So these two guys kind of knew better than to liberate a pair of brand new C8 Chevrolet Corvette test cars from the Bowling Green, Kentucky plant and take them for joyrides around the city of Bowling Green, ending up on a road called Lover's Lane. Yes, you can't make that stuff up, where the two were clocked at 120 and 100 miles an hour. Of course, the police caught him, arrested him, threw him in jail. And, of course, a couple of days later, according to the local police in Bowling Green, Kentucky, the two cars were returned back to the owners, which soon means that General Motors still now has possessions of the C8 Corvettes. And the two guys were released on bail, $1,000 each. Now, the trick is there's a ton of charges coming up against them. We're talking reckless driving, drag racing, speeding, the like. If not some legal action by the city, if not some legal action by General Motors. There is some reports out there that two have been fired. It has been yet to be absolutely confirmed, but we'll definitely keep you in tune about this particular story because it doesn't look like anything that'll be anywhere around near good. Next up on the list, speaking of not good, the Aston Martin Rapide E. This particular car has been long rumored, then was shown off at the Tokyo Auto Salon in 2019, talking about possibility of 2020-2021 of this vehicle coming into existence for public consumption. Well, apparently that time has passed because the Aston Martin Rapide E is no more. Aston Martin is claiming that the car will not go into production, that they're killing the vehicle off before it ever reached so. Now, on a little side note, there are a lot of reports out there that Geely, you've probably heard of this particular Chinese automobile group, has been getting their tentacles in so many different outlets all over the world. They're in Daimler, they're in with Lotus, so they know a little bit about the sports car thing. Apparently, they've been very interested in Aston Martin and have already been doing talks with them. So, could there be an 11th hour reprieve for the Aston Martin Rapide E? We'll definitely keep you in tune more of what we hear. Next up on the list, this story cannot bring any more happiness to me. This is the brand new Toyota Yaris, Gazoo Racing Toyota Yaris. This is a full-blown homologation car for the World Rally Championship. Now, I know I'm getting a little bit out of breath there as far as the full-blown homologation car, but that is the way Toyota's talking about this particular machine. Now, the power plant is a dual overhead cam, direct injection, 12-valve, single scroll, single turbocharged, 1.6-liter, 3-cylinder. Now, I know all that kind of sounds exciting until you get to that single turbo and 3-cylinder, but this thing packs a punch. 268 brake horsepower, 272 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted exclusively through a 6-speed manual gearbox, and the thing is all-wheel drive. Yes, and it's got a torque balancing system inside of the center differential. It's got 3 settings. The normal puts 60% of the power, 40% to the rear, and the sport mode puts 30 to the front, 70 to the rear. Very exciting stuff. And for track mode, it goes to full 50-50. They've really done this thing on the Atkins diet as well, because we're talking about the upper body, the hood, the trunk, and the door panels are all done out of aluminum, and the roof of the vehicle is actually done out of carbon fiber, which means that the total weight for this machine, curb weight, is 2,821 pounds. This thing is very lightweight, especially for a modern-day machine. 0 to 62 is supposedly achieved in just 5.5 seconds, and when you want to haul this thing down to a stop, it's got Brembo brakes on all 4 corners, with 4 pistons up front, 2 pistons in the rear. Now, the chances of this thing coming stateside are slim to none. The chances of it even coming to the European market is slim to none. In fact, the chances of this thing getting anywhere out of the country of Japan is slim to none. In fact, this existence may be slim to none. So, We'll definitely keep you tuned more of what we hear about this particular machine, because this thing is a far cry of what the new Yaris is actually going to be. So hopefully they'll actually build this car and it could be in existence, and we'll definitely keep you in tune more of what we hear. Sticking with the Toyota brand, again at the Tokyo Auto Salon, they're showing off the brand new Supra. Now I know we talked about the Supra in the past, but it was long rumored that the straight six was going to get a 4-cylinder cousin, and it has happened now. This thing, the new Supra, will get a 2-liter twin-scroll, single turbocharged 4-cylinder unit that makes 251 brake horsepower and 195 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted exclusively through a 8-speed ZF gearbox. 0 to 62 comes in at 5.2 seconds. Now, why would you want the smaller power plant? Well, it's all about the handling, because now it's got the perfect 50-50 weight balance that you really want to have in a rear-wheel drive car. Now, we know this car is going to be in existence, and it's going to be on dealer showrooms very, very soon. So we'll definitely keep you tuned more of what we hear about this machine over the next coming months. Next up on the list, well, if you haven't seen it as of yet, this is the brand new livery for M Sport and the folks over at Ford coming into the 2020 World Rally Championship season. And this car not only got brand new paint, but a brand new lead driver. Timo Sinen will be behind the wheel of the number 2 car, but the number 1 car, if you haven't heard by now, is Finnish-born driver Esa-Pekka Lappi. This guy was kind of a phenom. His 3rd rally in Rally Finland for Gazoo Racing. Took the overall victory. Kind of struggled over there at Citroen, but he's got nothing but great things to say. Of course, who wouldn't, because it was pretty much the last choice of what he could have been driving for 2020. But he will be heading the fight for the folks over at M Sport coming up in a handful of days at Rally Monte Carlo. Speaking of Gazoo Racing, they're showing off the brand new Toyota Yaris for 2020. Now, it's still the outgoing Yaris from last year. A little bit of aero upgrades and a totally new paint scheme, even though this thing looks pretty much like it did before. And an interesting little side note, whenever WRC teams show off their World Rally colors for the new season, they usually show them in tarmac trim, but Gazoo Racing flipped that on its head. Their promo shots of the car in gravel trim, which I find kind of interesting. Now, ex-Gazoo Racing, now Hyundai pilot and world champion Esa-Pekka Lappi is in the news for something interesting too, because apparently there might be a little bit of superstition coming from him about the old number 1, because it will not be emblazing his Hyundai WRC, his i20 WRC, going into the 2020 season, because he will be sticking with number 8, the number he's had over the past several. So it's going to be very interesting season. Only a handful of days to Rally Monte Carlo. Cannot wait to see what this new season is going to be all about. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. If you haven't checked out all the great goodness that I saw in the Kissimmee auction, Mecum auction, Kissimmee, Florida, over the past several days, you need to check them out. There's a bunch of cool videos, very short in trim, so you can check them out in all their glory and have fun with all those things. There's tons of cool stuff. If you ever get a chance to go to one of these auctions, you gotta go, because there's nothing but great stuff at these particular events. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. I got some new treats up there, along with some new videos going on over there, especially around the Mecum auction stuff. And you'll get a lot of new updates about what's going on in the automobile industry, especially what's not going on here. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon.